Okay, hello tube dwellers and welcome to the live stream. Galliamir here, welcome Galliamir, and Zix, no content about SFNP. Well, unfortunately, not really. I'm kinda not covering Mabinogi Duel at the moment. They need to fix the arenas, they need to fix a lot of the gimmicky stuff, they need to do a lot of rebalancing. At the moment, there's not an awful lot of point in me getting into Mabinogi Duel because the meta is just constantly dominated by gimmicks, so... You know, there's not really an awful lot of scope for me to make anything there, you know, unless it revolves around the Prophet or Lilith or something. It's just not going to work, so less fun. No, today we are covering the new EOD release in Duel of Summoners, the PC version, I guess, of Mabinogi Duel. Came out yesterday, and there's some interesting cards in here from a whole bunch of different generations. Mist, you want to share? Why do you keep spelling it sheer? Share, yes, we all want to share. Kukul, hello, welcome. Everyone on YouTube, I see. As the link says, and I'll just keep repeating this randomly, if I do any raffles, giveaways, polls, special things like that, it'll all happen over on the Twitch channel, so if you want to get involved in that kind of thing, I will warn everybody beforehand, but if you do want to get involved in the raffles and the giveaways and things like that that are going to be happening in the coming weeks, it's got to be through Twitch, I'm afraid. I can't really do this whole restream linking them together. It doesn't really work because share gives you sheer joy. That's a good enough reason. Okay, so most people are going to have seen all of these cards already, but because of the... Where is it? Here we are. Because it's we're dual streaming here, I've got the chat up, so it's a little bit obscured, so bear with me. Most people are going to have seen all these cards by now, but I'll just quickly scroll through them like this, just to show everybody who hasn't yet seen them. We've got some really nice ones, and it's going to go quickly through a couple of my favorites, and then we're going to pull a whole bunch of boosters. I have enough for, I think, 15 plus the 3 free ones. So we'll see if we can pull any nice stuff, such as Anime Undine. Lovely jubbly. So, interestingly in this release, out of all of the 5 and 4 stars, not including the special edition Undine, because she's technically Legend of Farca. Legend of Farca? Yeah. Not including her because she's from the previous set, but out of all of the 4 and 5 stars, weirdly enough, the only one that's like truly viable is Cher, and that's only for very specific kinds of tempo decks. The rest of these 4 and 5 star cards, not actually that good, unfortunately. So if you're a newbie and you have a limited amount of gold, don't worry, and gems, don't worry about getting the 4 and 5 star cards out of the booster packs. Don't worry about buying them from the player store. You'll find that the vast majority of cards that you use from the EOD set are going to be 3 stars or below, which means you can buy them from the cat merchant. Stuff like Holy Spear, which is phenomenally good. I like Mist personally. Bear Hunter's very good in PvE, really powerful. Medusa's got some nice combos. Goblin Intercept's pretty good. Dragon's Guardian's pretty good. Weaken Spell, not bad in a world without Counterspell. Free Summon and Cocoon Trap, of course, absolutely amazing. Forest Fire, it's literally your only AoE for gold, so live with it, I guess. Hidden Spider, best card in the entire set. No question about it. Hidden Spider is just astounding. Paralyzing Bullet, really good. Bandit Leader, a lot of fun when combined with Bandit. Homing Owl, really good in PvE, not bad in PvP. Pretty decent. Growth Vine, really good in PvE, not bad in PvP. Slap, fun, not really super viable, but fun. Poisonous Spear, okay, not bad if you combo it with a Grave Rat maybe. very good card. Alpaca, he just gives absolutely no shit. He's lovely, we love Alpaca. Not a good card, but how can you resist that face? Ice Bolt, pretty damn good. Imp, really good. And then Leopard is basically Gold Elf, so decent, very decent. As for the dragons, not really very good. They can all be countered for like a quarter of their cost by using any transformation spell, which kind of renders them redundant. Also, cards like Zaraska and Spira move in front of your opponent's creatures, which means that very seldom will they actually manage to get any actual damage off. Of them all, Earth Dragon Janvar is probably the best. If you are going to go for a dragon, go for Janvar. Alright, so let's pull some packs, shall we? I have 460, so let's go straight for the 450. Boom. Purchase. So we're going to get an extra 3 from completing the quest, because I haven't pulled any of these cards yet, I should point out. I'm going to pull, we're going to get 15 from this, 3 from the quest. I should have another 3 from winning the raffle on the official live stream yesterday, but I never got my card. Scoops. So Wither, meh. Growth Vind's nice, Bandit Leader's fun, Bear Hunter's nice, and Chaki's actually fine in PvE. Pretty good in PvE. Ooh, that's shinier. Imp's nice, I'm happy about that. Lizardman Defender, weirdly not terrible, actually. Not amazing, but not bad. Dragon's Guardian I really like, possibly my favorite art in the game at the moment. Dragon Hunter Jackie's fine. I mean, he meets HP breakpoints. But you can counter him for less than his cost with the transformation card, so yeah, just start packing transformation cards to deal with the new EOD stuff and I'll be fine. Mandragora, terrible. Just awful. Catapult, terrible card. Homing Owl, pretty decent, Forest Fire, yeah, decent. Weaken Spell, decent. Abandon Hope would be better if people were running more Gates of Hell, but nice to have just in case that starts becoming meta again. Poisonous Spear, eh. Growth Vine, nice. Emmy, fun. Not super duper viable, but fun, certainly. Mermaid Size, terrible. Blue Knight, terrible. Alpaca, love the face. Absolutely adore Alpaca. Lizardman Archer, pretty pointless. Especially with Holy Missile being a thing. Poisonous Spear, Science Creature, pointless. And it's really saw the reason for Science Creature. I mean, I used him from time to time in PvE decks just for fun, but he's weird. And Mermaid Size, useless. Okay, Leopard Cat, pointless. Lizardman, I mean, pointless, but if you really want to use him, there's no harm in it, I guess. Just again, as with all these dark creatures, they can be countered by a 1-cost Holy Missile, so it's not so great. Lizardman Knight, pointless. Hidden Spider, woo, best card in the EOD set. Gotta love Hidden Spider. Weaken Spells, fine. Lizardman again, Leopard, Golden Elf, so that's always okay. Grand Banquet, pointless. Abandon Hope, and Mandragora again. Still no SE cards, I'm so disappointed. Lizardman Alpaca, Lizardman Archer, Ceres again, it's fine, and Chaki. Lizardman Icebolt, I like that one. Great Harvest, it's fine when you're, if you get like multiples of them and you're using Gates of Hell, I guess, you can, that's okay. Bandit Leader fun, Forest Fire nice, AoE, Leopard, Lizardman Defender, I'm getting a lot of these dark cards. Blacksmith Edurn, not brilliant. When HP is 3 or less, but why would it ever be 3 or less? He gets killed by surprise attack and by hunt, so I don't know why his HP would ever be 3 or less. Mermaid Size, kind of pointless, and Blue Knights, that's our 10th booster pack. Got 5 more to go, 5 more to get the SE cards. Blue Knights anyway, pointless. Imp, I like Imp, always liked Imp. Altar of Abundance, pointless. Science Creature, Free Summon, love it. Great card. Forest Fire, that's fine. Poison Spear, meh. Fun, pointless, interesting, and fun. In, I'm really glad I pulled that. In was the first... In was like the core card of the first deck I ever got into the top 10 with, like 2 years ago. I really like him because it does meet HP breakpoints at levels 1 and 2. You really want to throw the in out at level 2. Ideally, level 1's okay, but level 2 is better. It's really, really annoying. It gets underestimated so much by our opponents. They'll look at it and go, who really cares? It's like an angel. And then, you know, the healing begins. So In's actually really, really good. Bard Song, terrible card. Terrible card for its cost. Cocoon Trap, really nice. Forest Fires, nice. And Free Summon, of course, really nice. All these Cocoon Trap and Free Summon traps are brilliant cards. Love those cards. Leopard Cat, pointless. Paralyzing Bullets, really good. Very good card. Lizardman Knight, pointless. Blue Knight, pointless. Goblin Intercept, decent enough. Again, I mean, there's no real reason why you would use this over, like, Cocoon Trap, but if you don't like running nature for whatever reason, Goblin Intercept's fine. blue crossbow golem, a lot of fun in PvE. Good for dailies, certainly. Alpaca, yay, poison spear, bandit leader. Hey, we got the Undine special edition. Whoop whoop, yeah. Hello, pretty lady. And that was literally our last booster pull from the gems. Look at that, 450 down to 10. Oh well. Got 13 of these things, and Scam Cat is gonna not offer us anything. Apparently she's gonna sit there and stare at us. Yep. Nah, 2 LOF cards. No thank you. He is offering EOD cards, so even people who've been playing DOS from the beginning, do pay attention to what he's offering. Don't just tell him to go away for the whole day. It's just a whole bunch of 100s, 200. Oh, we did get the, oh yeah, we got the Lufencia special edition skin. That's nice. She's not a great hero, but it's a really nice skin. So just grab all of this, all these yummies. And then we will put together a deck or 2, or 3, or 4, or 5. And we'll see what we can do with it. Also, if anybody is interested in doing sub battles, that's where 2 people from the chat fight each other, and I spectate and commentate. Let me know in the chat, and we'll get that sorted out. Because I would like to get the sub battles started up again. I'll create some decks and I'll run them. I'll fight anybody who wants to fight me, obviously. But I think it's always better to see 2 people from chat fighting each other, just because you get to see more varied play styles and deck constructions. Google, you're still here. Good. Excellent. Are you going to fight? I'm going to go through these one by one. Lufencia. For anyone who hasn't seen the skin, I'll just pop this open for you guys now. Where is she? There she is. So that's the skin. I really like this skin. She's not a brilliant hero. She's okay, but there's no reason to choose her over Elle or Sarah or Tina. Nevertheless, I really do like that skin. Whippy, super battle. Super battle. We can have a super battle. Did I say super battle, or are you just enthusiastic? If I said super battle, I meant sub battle. We can have a super sub battle too. Okay, let's see if we get any more SEs. Another inn, good. I like the inn. Zindairo, fun, I guess, but pointless. He can be killed by a 1-cost card at level 1. He starts out at 4 cost, so he's not brilliant. Blue Knight, pointless. Abandon Hope, yeah, well, it depends on whether or not Gates of Hell becomes meta again. Goku, you don't have PC. Oh, sad. Mateo, you do sub battles, but you started to play like 3 days ago and you barely have any cards. Well, that's fine. You could always challenge somebody to a LOF, a Lord of Farka, not Legend of Farka, Lord of Farka battle, or something like that. Or you can fight me, and I promise to use my very first ever LOF deck, which I think only has 1 5-star card in it. Ice Bolt, nice. Growth Vine, nice. Forest Fire, nice. Dragon Hunter Scott, he's a 4-star, so hooray for having him, but I don't ever see myself using him. And Edurn, who's, again, pretty pointless, but hey. And the last booster, the unsub battle, miss. Yes, if you lose, you must unsubscribe. There must be no weak duelists in my subscribers. Lizardman, Poisonous Spear, Caravan, terrible card, which is unfortunate, because I do love elephants. Abandon Hope, and Edurn. Okay, so nothing good in that one. That's a shame. Still, we did get an SE Undine, so I'm very happy about that. What else? And we got a whole bunch of gold, which is lovely jubbly. Oh, and a gift from Miss Zero. Thank you very much, Miss Zero. I appreciate that. Another 10, and I can pull another booster pack. We're getting a lot of gems right now. For anyone who's not aware, there's a special thing that's lasting, I'm pretty sure, 2 weeks, could be more, where the roulette has been completely stocked with gems. So you don't get experience of it anymore, just gems, which is really nice. Mist, you'll do a battle, winner gets 10 gems. Ooh. So if you guys would like 10 gems, well, a chance, shall I say, to get 10 gems, because Mist is no pushover. But if you would like a chance to get 10 gems, challenge Mist in the chat. As for us, we'll take a look at these 91 cards that we just pulled. Holy moly. And we'll put together a quick deck. Maybe something featuring the special edition Anime Undine. Maybe. She's a really good level 2 card to play. So what did we get out of that anyway? We got 2 4-star cards, we got the special edition card, so that's okay. We didn't really pull an awful lot of 4 or 5 stars, but I'm actually quite happy about that. The more 3 and less star cards that we pull, the better, really, as far as I'm concerned. So, I'm pretty sure, yeah, I'm out of deck slots. Let's just delete some of these. And we'll create a new deck. Let's start out with only Era of Dragons, and we'll see what we can put together. So let's start with the inn. Ooh, in fact, we'll go with the special edition inn, which you get for doing the beginner missions. So we'll start with the special edition inn. What do I really want to play around with? I was hoping that we would get Share, Holy Spear, that kind of thing. I do want to use the Hidden Spider. That's way too good not to use. So what do we want to use for the last color? We didn't get an awful lot of good blues, did we? Although actually not bad, really. Ice Bolt, Free Summon, and Imp, so yeah, nothing to really complain about there. Vash, why is it so rare to see me on YouTube? The last couple of weeks, well, first of all, Mabinogi Duel kind of died a little bit. It just became a full gimmick thing, so I didn't have anything to do there. And then I got really sick, and then I went on vacation to Portugal, and it's just been one thing after another. You'll be seeing me on YouTube a lot more in the coming weeks, don't panic. Some videos are coming out next week, definitely some guide videos. I am considering doing a daily live stream of Duel of Summoners next week, a kind of a monthly climb to top 10 sort of thing, since the new monthly arena is starting up again. So let me know if anybody's interested in watching that of an evening, or morning, depending on where you are. And then on the 9th, not this coming weekend, but the weekend after this one, Monster Hunter World is releasing its beta on PlayStation 4 from the 9th to the 12th. So I will be doing daily live streams of that because it's Monster Hunter and it's on consoles, not the Switch. Guess who is watching the live today? One of the Arc vets, Majin Adel. Way! Welcome back, buddy. Nice to see you. You got a new phone finally. At last. Good for you. Anyway, let's get on with building this. I was going to... You know what? I think I may go with gold. Just because of the Dragon's Guardian. Because I love the artwork on this. I think it's just really... It was by Red Violet II, who is the same artist who did the Warlords art. And it's just absolutely astounding artwork. It's really good. Yes, Mist. I was saying my name. So let's use the Dragon's Guardian, and then we'll use some gold cards. Paralyzing Bullet, let's go for... You got enough for another pack, do I? Another gift from Miss Zero, thank you so much. I appreciate that very much. Okay, remember these cards, I'll come back to this, let's pull another... In fact, actually, no, never mind, I'll just save it as a 4-star, as a 4-card deck for now. We'll come back to that in a second. Let's pull another booster pack, see if we can get yet another... special edition Undine. If I do get a special edition Undine, screw it, we'll do a raffle at the end and I'll give it away to whoever wins. Well, I say give it away, I can't give it away, but I'll give it for lowest possible price. 2 Lizardman Knights, I really wanted me to have that. Frey, well, it's a new card, I didn't have her before. I do like her. I am going to create an Archer deck at some point using Spirit of the Shield, but yeah. And Jindairo. Okay, no special edition Undines yet, but again, if I somehow get more, I don't know how I would, but if I somehow get enough gems for more booster pulls, or if Ray or Scoops gives me my 3 boosters that I won yesterday and I pull a SE out of it, we'll do a raffle. Where was I? Yes, doing the card thing. Okay, so maybe... I'm thinking we'll put Frey in there. She's not great, but well, you know. Imagine you got really lucky on Duel of Summoners, you got like 4 to 5 Alron special editions. Nice. Very nice. I mean, Alron's still really good. She's still definitely a threat that needs to be dealt with. Undine, probably more of a threat, so you probably get more for Undine if you were to sell her. But yeah, Alron's nice. You can still get a lot if you want to sell some of those special editions though. Actually, maybe not Frey, maybe Taeon. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to figure out a way of putting as many of these EOD cards in as possible, but we just didn't get enough super good ones. If we had Holy Spear, I'd definitely put Holy Spear in there, but we didn't get it. I'll put Forest Fire in there for the AoE. Yeah, okay, that's what we'll do. Put Forest Fire in there for the AoE. We'll come back off that. Let's go into Light. We want to grab Lorna. She's always nice to have. Surprise Attack, of course, because you just no reason not to have Surprise Attack. And then something with a little bit of HP. So Euroma's not bad. Euroma would work. I don't really like him so much because of the thing. I mean, what we could do is we could create an Ifrit or Peria deck, Nevia deck, but I don't really want to do that. Majinora, Alron, always felt a must-have in nature deck. You had barely any deck without her. She is good. She's very, very good. Her problem is that she doesn't meet HP breakpoints, of course, which is the issue. Unlucky number kills level 3 Mud Hero Dross. Does he? Does it? That's interesting. Because of Dross's defense, I assume. Well, that's worth knowing, since Dross is beginning to become a bit of a bigger... well, more people are beginning to realize that he's good, which is nice, because he is. He's an awesome character. Should we put Weaken Spell in there? I'm going to leave that for the moment. You guys tell me what you want to see for the last Light card. I don't think it really matters too much. We need a transformation card, so Cocoon of Evolution. And we could go Acid Monster, we could go Growth Vine, we could go Homing Owl. Don't really want to go Homing Owl. We could go Wolf Perry. That would be okay. It also kills him at level 2. That's it now. It's good, it's just unfortunately unlucky number's not... Just for anybody who's curious about what we're talking about. Pretty sure I pulled unlucky number. Did I not? Le gasp. No, I guess I don't have it. Oh well. Yes, unlucky number kills anybody that has a certain number in either defense, HP, or attack. Can't decide on my last green either. There's a few choices in there. Let's see what we do with blue first. We're going to go with the Goblin Shredder because nature's quite popular. We could go with Dross, now that it's been put into my head. Barbarians, decent, but wouldn't work next to the inn because we don't want him healed. Bear Hunter's better in PvE. Imagine, think you need a finisher, a gold, or a light one. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, I would. There's a bunch of potential finishers in light. In gold, there's really only Dross. In terms of finishers for gold, Ifrit's not really a finisher, and she would wipe out like the vast majority of my team anyway when she died. I mean, and we may just go for Dross. I do like him. Let's just see. Oh yeah, 4 and 4. Yeah, so unlucky number will kill anybody that has 4 in either defense, attack, or HP. So Dross has 4 and 4 there and there. Miss, you want Red Dragon? I don't think I pulled the Red Dragon. No, I didn't pull it. I mean, I could buy it from the store, but... it was never really one of my favorite cards, I must admit. I always preferred Dross. Let's just pick Dross then. Size 4, so we need 2 more cards, one in gold, one in green and one in light. Hit the base! Yeah. I have no idea why that's what he shouts. I'm obviously missing something there. Let's try Eagle for the green. We'll come back and adjust this. No deck is ever perfect the first time you put it together, so we'll no doubt run through a few adjustments. He's a better Dross in your opinion. Is he? I'll take a look at him after this. Some of the cards have been adjusted, I know, so I need to recheck a lot of them. Some of them haven't, but a lot of the EOD cards haven't been rebalanced actually, which is quite interesting. You wish you had all those cards. Dranicus? Did I pronounce that correctly? I hope so. Yeah, I've been playing since the game came out every single day, so yeah, I've gathered up quite a few at this point. And also, hi to chat and me. Hello. Nice to see you. We could go for Net Warrior. I do like Net Warrior. We could go for Windblade Taeon. In fact, screw it. He's a EOD, so we'll just throw Taeon in and we'll see how it goes. Alright, so... actually, you know what? We're missing Hunt. I knew we were missing something, so put the Eagle back. And we'll go with Hunt. Where did I put it? I know the chat's probably going, it's right frickin' there. But yeah. The first person to get your name right. Yay! Good, I was afraid I'd mispronounced it. Shall we? Let's jump into a game with Lufencia. Screw it. We'll do one game with Lufencia. As I say, I don't like her because she benefits your opponents as much as she benefits you. But yeah. Let's take a look at the Red Dragon. I just want to quickly compare to Dross. See if I personally agree. I mean, you know, everybody has different playstyles, so different things work for different people. So, the dragon, 789, 18 attack value, 28 HP, and 6 damage to all opponent creatures every turn. Yeah, I can see the value to him, certainly. It's just, for me personally, 9 resources at level 3 is always too expensive. I don't think I run anything that costs that much. I think the most expensive card I've ever really run is Paladin. Compared to Dross at level 3, he costs 7, so there's 2 resources left. Just out of curiosity, what does a Paladin cost? I think it's 8 at level 3. I'm not sure about that. Yeah, it's 8 at level 3. Yeah, and even that's stretching it. I could almost... well, it's not like I could almost never, but I very seldom brought out Paladin just because if it's that expensive, then yeah, it can be difficult, especially when you're going up against people that run rush decks. Sorry. Matteo got it wrong. That's a shame. Margin, Red Dragon is a nice card. You always had a thing for cards to start bombing the enemy field, or free Red Dragon and so on. Yeah, I do like it as well. Era of Red Dragons, the ultimate era of Red Dragons was always a fun card to use. Dragonus, you're playing Dark Souls 3. Nice. Margin, can you add me? Absolutely. Yes, you can see my username down here, the Arcadean. Dracon's going to play Dawson a bit. Good. Matthew, your mind jumped to Devil Survivor, but there isn't a 3 now that you think about it. Yeah, that's a shame as well, because it's a really good series. Okay, let's jump into a couple of normal battles then. Where are we? Here we are. Oh, my dummy deck one. So jump into a couple of normal battles. As I said earlier, if anybody wants to battle me personally, let me know in the chat. But what I would really like to see is some sub-battles. So if you would like to battle any other person in the chat, just either challenge them directly or just speak up, letting me know that you're into that sort of thing, and I'll pair you off myself, and then you guys can fight. I will spectate and commentate over the battle. Miss Zero is offered 10 gems to anybody who beats him, so if you want to get involved in the sub-battle, he's the guy to challenge. Dragon, is any tips for beginners in this game? Okay. Yes, lots of them, actually. I am actually going to be creating a tips video, which will probably go out next week on Wednesday or Friday, which will cover the sort of top things that I think a beginner should know when they're getting into deck building and fighting with the decks. Off the top of my head, what I would say is, number 1, always go for 3 colors. Don't go for 1 color or 2 colors. It's a bad idea. Always go for 3. Number 2, make sure you have a smooth ramp, so you always have some cards that you can play for like 1 or 2 costs, some cards you can play for 3 or 4, and some cards you can play for 4 or 5. Make sure that you run at least 2 single target removals, which is generally surprise attack for light and hunt for nature. Those are the 2 most useful camps at the moment, arguably speaking. Imagine that British flag is so sexy, by the way. I'm glad you like it. Play Devil's Survivor 2, Record Breaker, great game, it's really good. Tung, hi Arc, does Duel of Summoners have any new cards that are not available on the map in Ogi Duel? They don't, but what they do have are completely rebalanced cards. So some of the cards, whilst being technically the same, like Elf Archer is still Elf Archer. They've been rebalanced so that they're now significantly more useful. So whereas in Mabinogi Duel you would never use an Elven Archer for anything, she's terrible. Now it's actually a good idea to include an Elven Archer in your deck if you're running that kind of deck. Same sort of thing with the fairies. The 1-cost mana fairies are now actually good. They're very viable, especially if you're running 2 or 3 in a single deck. You can really do some serious damage for if you're running aggro. A whole bunch of stuff like that. There was a full rebalancing. And because there's no gimmicks, a lot of cards that were not usable because of the gimmick cards are now actually usable. Tell them about the deck guide on the wiki. I keep forgetting about the Gamepedia wiki. Yes, there is a Gamepedia, there is a wiki where you can go and you can check out deck guides and just all kinds of useful information. Miss Zero's been doing a lot of work on it. I keep meaning to work on it and I keep forgetting that it's a thing. It's really just, that's my bad. You imported it from the MD Wiki and you edited. You're going to update it with the EOD cards once you add them all. That's great. I mean, Miss Zero is really the curator of the Gamepedia Wiki, so big thanks to him. Alex Brown, hey there, long time no see. It has indeed been a long time no see. Welcome back. Alex Brown, ladies and gentlemen, the person who basically sponsored our tournaments way back when. What's this? A friend request from Lord Demonio. I assume that's Majin. So accepted. Again, for anybody who's not aware, the rule of the live stream. We've got a fun pun. The rule for the live stream is if you send me a friend request, Night Furry. Oh. If you send me a friend request while I'm live streaming, I will accept your friend request. If you send me a friend request outside of live streaming times, I may not, because I still have like 30 odd people at least I need to get through. Just do this. Say hello. I acknowledge your greetings, even though they didn't greet me. So, Shaylee Jamera. It's me, says Majin. I'm assuming the Lord Demonio is you and not Night Furry. Shayla Jamera, interesting hero. You generally never saw her outside of a oh god, Theozenior decks, I think they were. You know what, I don't really have anything to play, so we're just going to charge up. It occurs to me that I may... Yeah, this isn't particularly well balanced for early game. Could be better, could be better. Brown, so how far has this game come? Is it back on par to the mobile version? Depends on how you think about it. To me, Duel of Summoners is a return to form. It goes back to Generation 1, strips out the mutant thing, which was terrible for balancing, completely did like a total balance overhaul on the game, and then yeah, and since and they've been focusing on that since then and releasing some new special edition cards. They don't seem to be quite as money grabbing as Mabinogi Duel, and the community managers Ray and Scoops and Magic Mike and Arax, they are really, really good and really on point. They are actually seriously engaging with the community, which is fantastic. So as far as I'm concerned, a true return to form, but in terms of the number of cards, they're still not there yet. And that kind of thing. So Hidden Spider comes out, which is exactly what I wanted. Even if she kills a Hidden Spider with a spell, it doesn't matter. It'll just bring itself back out again. We'll break her legs. Oh god, that's not nice. The real question is, did they ever finish the story mode? They haven't yet. They're still catching up. Mist, in your opinion, is just a new format, like the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG and OCG. Yep, that's a decent way of looking at it. I'd agree. We can kill that goblin. The question is, do I really feel like it? Blah, 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 blah. I guess. You know what? Screw it. Let's kill the goblin. And let's bring out Druss, because there's nothing really that Night Furry can have that's going to be a particular threat to Druss. You missed playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Dragon as well. Duel Links was great. I did a bunch of videos on Duel Links actually, but good god, I mean, they were releasing a new card set every 2 weeks. It was literally impossible to keep up. I mean, I knew professional YouTubers and Twitch streamers who spent like $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on the game just to, you know, be competitive, get a lot of cards, make a lot of decks, do a lot of live streams and videos and stuff. And they actually went onto the Reddit and things and just said, look, I have to stop. I have to stop live streaming this game. I cannot afford to remain competitive anymore. Yeah, that's a shame. Imagine no cheap damage allowed. What cheap damage? I did no cheap damage. Who is impugning my damage? Also, look, I put this huge ugly chat thing up there so that people on Twitch and people on YouTube could communicate with each other, and everybody's just on YouTube. I don't need to put the ugly thing up there. Israel. I don't know why I pronounced it that way, but that's your new name now. You still play Yu-Gi-Oh! Do you play the original TCG? Do you play it on one of the emulators? Do you play it on... What do you play it on? Do you play Duel Links? There's a lot of them now. Actually, Duel Links is available on Steam now, isn't it? Draconus, you prefer playing in real life? That's always the best way to play. But you have no one to play with. Yeah, I feel you. Plus, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is getting to the point where it's, if you don't one-turn kill me, I'll one-turn kill you. Yeah, that kind of started out with the pendulum thing, didn't it? It was pretty... Imagine, I mean, you getting cheap damage. I don't know. One hit okay. Not Night Fury thinks for too long. Well, you can't fault them for that, really. Israel, you play the physical card game. Yeah. There's something about just holding the cards in your hand. Actually, when I was doing Mabinogi Duel, I was well, there was talk for a while about me actually creating physical copies of these cards and giving them away as like tournament prizes or something. I think, I'm not sure. Mist, you don't know about Link Summon. I have not played Yu-Gi-Oh! As in the card game in a long time. That's not going to kill Dross. But yes, I did hear about Link Summon. Like half the people were going, ah, it's the end of Yu-Gi-Oh! And the other half were going, oh, it's the beginning of Yu-Gi-Oh! Brown, you'll start playing this once the collabs come back. Yeah, I'm not sure about the collabs. I mean, you can start playing now and get the special editions. There's a new special edition card that's released every week, and they're actually not too difficult to get. Out of the probably 10 special edition cards that have been released so far, I think I've only failed to get 2 or 3. And that's with me spending no money on the game. You know, I'm a completely free-to-play player. Beyond the original DLC that I picked up just so that I could make videos. But apart from that, I haven't spent any money on it, and I've still gotten all the SE cards, and they're the nice SE cards as well. You know, it's the original Ifrit and the Christmas skins and the Halloween skins. It's some nice skins. Israel, unfortunately the game got to the point where you have to go first and set up a board where your opponent going second can't kill you in one turn. Yeah, I did hear that. It was a shame. It was a shame. Still, the emulators, who I just can't remember, Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, that was it. Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro and emulators like that are still going really strong, so. Draconus Man, you wish you could get that Undine special edition. If I pull another special edition Undine in this live stream or in any live stream, I'll raffle it off for lowest possible purchase price. After that, it becomes top deck mode and resource management. Yeah, it was always like the cool thing plus the bad thing about Yu-Gi-Oh! Was the cards all combo together really nicely, which was always super fun when you get the combos going. The downside of that, of course, is that, you know, once you've got a really, really good combo in place, your opponent's kind of screwed. It's basically just waiting for the inevitable at that point. Margin, you always thought on how to make this game into real. How do you replicate the resource management? You would have to have like 3 different colors of like stones or tokens or something, and like 3 different bowls in front of you, and you'd have to take the resources, you know, put the tokens in or out of the bowls, I guess. Dragonus, you're broke, so it doesn't matter. Fair enough. So with that level up, Dras got it. That was a 50-50 shot. You know what? We're gonna drop the inn, which I haven't been using, and I shouldn't be dropping at level 3, but I have not been paying attention. So that's my bad. Did you know Frey costs less than Mari? Really? No, I hadn't compared the two. Interesting. I guess that makes sense. I'm pretty sure Mari's isn't sort of attack reliant, if that makes any sense. Fry can only attack at the end of the turn automatically if there's an opponent with attack 6 or greater on the board. I'm pretty sure Mari will attack somebody if somebody's on the board. Dragon is D&D dice, easiest way to keep track. Yeah, I can see that. True, actually. Yeah, you'd have to get a D20 because it's 20 that the resources stop at, but yeah, I can see that. That's a good idea. I just like little I have these little glass token bead things. They're kind of flat that I use for life point counters and stuff whenever I play games and things at home. Israel, you would say have a resource deck and shuffle it with however much mana up to 3 colors you want. Really, just Ruwairi right in the middle of the field. Okay. Use 3 20-sided dice and 2 other for RNG. Yes. Yes. Yeah, you'd need to use like a 5-sided dice for anything that says randomized anything, hits a random creature like Hikaru, wouldn't you? And then it would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the deck slots. And then, but for defense, I'm not really sure what you would do for defense, because defense can be any number, and then you've got to roll between 1 and that number. So it's a bit tricky. What are the top tier decks in Duel of Summoner's Tongue? At the moment, there really aren't any. Or to put it another way, there are a lot of potential top tier decks. At the moment in Duel of Summoners, the most important thing is actually skill. So long as you know what you're doing, you can get into the top 10 in the monthly ranked without any serious difficulty. With like a 75-80% win streak. Win ratio, I should say. But there aren't any sort of dominating decks. There's no sort of like Gates of Hell must have, or Ifrit or Peria must have, or this or that or the other thing must have. Ifrit or Peria, or Peri decks in general, are still here, and they're still a little bit annoying, but it's not too difficult to get a hold of L hero, and at that point you don't need to fear them anymore. Israel, every turn draw 3 cards from the resource deck. I mean, it would be fun adding more cards, because cards are always enjoyable, but I do think Dracunis' thing of the D20 is probably a better idea. Anyway, let's just kill Warrior Ruwairi. Boom, and we'll drop... Ooh, how much does that guy cost now? No, way too expensive. Never mind then. His Goblin Shredder's not really been doing any work for us. I may decide to switch him out for something else. Let me see. Where are we? 12 for Mist Spell and 10 for Random. For defense, just use a 100-side dice for percent. Oof. Well, I mean that would probably be the best way of doing it. It's still rough. Thing is, resources raised by 1 every turn, excluding the resource generating units plus the actual charging up. Don't think you can handle that easily with dice. Yeah, you can. You just, if the dice is on 8, you just turn it to 999 every turn, and then you charge. And I mean, charging would be a bit weird, yeah, because you'd have to roll a D3 or something. Yeah, that's when it gets weird. Dragonus, you tried playing ranked, but you couldn't get any games going. What's that about? 2 reasons. Really, just blocking with the Garden of Life. Out of curiosity, I completely forget how much this does now. Yeah, deals 6 defense ignoring damage, so we can just immediately destroy that. Yeah, there's 2 reasons why you can't get any ranked games going at the moment. One is that at certain times of the day, the game is just empty. It doesn't have as many players as Mabinogi Duel, unfortunately, not yet. The numbers are apparently still rising as the reviews increase the score, but that is a factor. The other thing is that actually the EOD release yesterday seems to have kind of borked some of the arenas for some people. They're not getting rewards, or they can't sign up, or they're getting error messages when they try to have fights, etc, etc, etc. So at the moment there's an extra long downtime for fights because some people are getting errors. They'll be fixing it today or tomorrow, I would think. Considering how much resource movement there is in just one round, the game would literally be 80% about resources. It would, yeah. I mean, the resources and dealing with it and the randomization, it would be very, very difficult to do in a real-world format. Fun to try, but yeah, it would be quite frustrating. Anyway, good job to our opponent. Nice play, I'll remember that. That's a weird way of saying it. D100s exist, Israel? Yes, they do. They're ridiculous. You can just use the 12-sided dice for charging. Every 4th row of numbers are a certain resource. I suppose so, yeah, 3 4s. So 1, 2, 3, 4 would be for the first resource and so on and so forth. Which makes sense. Draconis, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, D200s exist. They are huge. They really are. They are they're gigantic. Or they're not that gigantic, but the faces are teeny tiny. You want a D100 just cause. Yeah. I mean, it's the age of the geek, baby. So you have a D100, you can just whip that out and go, hey, ladies, check out my dice box. And then they'll scream and arrest you. What is D100 damage 100? D100 just means a dice with 100 sides to it. The D literally just stands for dice. So a D6 is a dice with 6 faces, a D12 is a dice with 12 faces, and so on and so forth. 90% of the live game will be rolling dice. Yeah, it will be. Yeah. The other thing is, I mean, if we created a live version of Duel of Summoners, who would I play against? I live in a valley, in a forest, in the Highlands of Scotland. I mean, unless I train one of the local sheep, and nobody's here is gonna. There's nobody here to play with. Cesar Melon. D100 is basically a bull. Yeah, it is. It looks like somebody tried to chisel a football out of a boulder and didn't know when to stop. The Children of the Valley ghosts. Yes. Yes. It's a bit. I'll be honest. It is a little bit creepy. Oh, hey, Mist. Welcome. Actually, I meant to change my hero and my deck. Never mind. Imagine if your gardens and wells return, it's like, oh, come on, another resource generating unit. Screw the math. Yeah. Yeah, you just be like, oh, piss off. Okay. Oh, another dual color deck. Oh, boy. I do need to rejigger this deck. This deck's fine. It's okay. It's not really what I wanted. I'm gonna see what I need to do is I need to put dark resources into this. I went with the golden nature just because I wanted my Dragon's Guardian, but yeah, it's not so good. So let's bring this out. Mist, you got the wrong deck again. Stream Sniper, cries Israel. Yes, shame on you, Mist. Shame on you. It's alright, he always brings the wrong deck to these fights. Yeah. Okay, so once again, I mean, I can. I'm gonna rejigger this deck now. It was fun, but I need to get a proper hero and all that kind of stuff. So let's go back to L. We'll just quickly create a dummy deck while I go through the sub-battle stuff again. So yes, if anybody would like to challenge me personally to a fight, let me know in the chat. What I would prefer, though, is if you mentioned that you were up for a sub-battle. A sub-battle is when 2 people from the chat fight each other. I spectate the fight live on the stream and commentate over the top of it. That way, people get to see interesting decks, new playstyles, new kinds of tactics, and so on and so forth that they won't necessarily see from me. There's no pressure, nobody's like using top-tier meta decks, nobody's trying to crush the other person. The objective is to use fun decks that are still viable, but enjoy yourselves with them. Cesar, what do you think of the Ghost Mirror, the Mirror Ghost, and the Nature card that doubles your creature's attack? That's Rage of Nature. Mirror Ghost is fine. The thing is... Okay, here's the thing. Duel of Summoners, like Mabinogi Duel, is a very mathematical game, right? It's very, very sum-based. And part of that is, and the mechanics of it, of the game, the underlying mechanics of it, try to do away with RNG as much as possible. And obviously, if you're doing maths, you want as little randomization as possible as well. You want to be able to know for a fact that when you do A, B, and C will happen. The problem with the Mirror Ghost is that they introduce an element of randomization to your opponent, but also to you. If you play Mirror Ghost at level 3, it's really expensive. Sure, it fills the board, but if your opponent happens to get a lucky shot on the real Mirror Ghost, they're all dead. all of them. So suddenly your plan is completely out the window. And the Mirror Ghost is really easy to kill. Literally any removal spell will get rid of it. So I'm not a huge fan of Mirror Ghost. In PvE, she's fine. Gets difficult around like 15 win streaks, but she's fine because the AI is not very smart about taking care of her. But in PvP, too much randomization. As for Rage of Nature, I think it's a really, really good card. I do have a Rage of Nature deck video up on YouTube. I don't know where I'm pointing, but you know where to go. It's a really, really good card in this one. They really dropped the price, the resource cost of it, and now it's really good. RL, you got no pouty slaps on deck. No, I have no slaps on deck. One hit okay, you only have skeleton bone deck. Skeletons are really good, skeletons are nice. Israel, does the secondary market exist in the game? Do you mean the player market? Yes, the player stores exist in the game. Skeleton Blade Man, you mean, rather than Skeleton Bone when hit okay. Yes, Skeleton Blade Man's really good. I have a clone Blade Man deck video up that was very popular with people. And for a couple of weeks there, the deck was... you couldn't turn around without seeing it in ranked, which was funny. Also, you can't choose where it is placed as well. Yeah, that's another problem with the Mirror Ghost, yeah. Mirror Ghost or Peria for the win. I mean, sure, that's definitely one way to go if you really wanted to. I don't know why you would go for that over Ifrit or Undine, but sure, it would be funny. Woo lad, says Jabro. Woo to you too. Imagine, or you know, spend almost the same amount of resources and get rid of your opponent's Mirror Ghost with a Hellhound. Yeah, I mean, Hellhound's just a better dark card apart from anything else. Miss Hero, 10 gems to anyone who can beat him in a sub-battle. Come on, somebody fight Mist. I'm just setting up a dummy deck. We're not actually doing this, so I don't need Nature, I don't need Dark. To anybody who isn't aware of this, you don't need to fight in the arenas in order to earn the bronze rewards. So every day, just put any random deck you feel like into the daily, you will still get 3 gems off it. Okay, now let's change our hero. Oh, our hero is changed, but that's, yeah, it's the weird graphical bug. Okay. Okay, I do want the inn, but we're going to strip some of this stuff out and we're going to rebuild. I'm going to try to rebuild, at least partially, from memory, my old top 10 deck. Let's see if I can remember what the hell was in it. Skeleton was obviously in it. And Hellhound must have been in it. I don't know if Drag the Hell was, and it's not as good as it used to be because it jumps. It used to be 2-3-4, now it's 2-4-5. Dragonus, well, you're down for the sub-battle. Don't expect you to be anywhere near good. That's fine. That's fine. Israel in MD or DOS? DOS. Duel of Summoners. Sub-battles and Duel of Summoners. Don't worry, there's no pressure. Unless you're me, I get nervous when I even make milk chocolate. Yeah, there's no pressure. It's completely relaxed. Nobody's going to be judging you for your cards or your skills or your abilities or anything like that. It's really, it's just have some fun. That's the point. So, Draconus versus Mist Zero. If you guys add each other on friends list and then let me know when you're ready. I have Mist on my friends list already, so when you guys are ready, let me know and I'll start spectating. The O is the number 0, yes. Yeah, good. I do have Mist. Excellent. Yes, but it's very relaxed. So just bring whatever you want. Have some fun with it. Nip Nip. Hey, Nip Nip. Are Succubus decks still bad? Yes. Unfortunately, they are. The problem is if Succubus is transformed at the end of your turn, fantastic. There could be some really nice combinations there with Succubus and Deathcloud and things like that. But... yeah, no, they're still pretty bad. By the way, 3 colorless Soulstone for 1 Dragon Rider Strike and Demon Calamus. But yes, is a good trade. I would say personally no, because Dragon Rider Strike is actually a really good AoE. And I am going to be coming up with a Calamus deck in probably a couple of weeks. So the 3 colorless Soulstone, they're really only useful for like Gates of Hell, that kind of thing, and they're not as good as they used to be because now it's a direct trade, so you are actually losing a little bit of money. Yes, Dragonus, what's your in-game name so that Miss Zero can add you? Margin, anyway, sub-battles are always so great. We've seen some really cool, fantastic plays. We really have. I remember that one duel where I went, oh my god, what even is going on here? There's actually been a couple of them where I was just like, what is happening? Whippy, any regulation? Nope, no regulation. We don't even need to say no gimmick because gimmick decks aren't really a thing. So yeah, there's no limits, no regulations, no special rules. I'm pretty sure that's that. Now, probably gonna have to go for nature. Apart from anything else, I want that hidden spider in there. Do I want? No, not growth fund. It wouldn't work within, would it? IGN is Drenicus, so there you go, missed. Nice, nice. Hunt, always forget to put that in initially. Pretty sure we're going to want the Cocoon of Evolution. We just need transformations because a lot of people are going to be using the new EOD 4 and 5 star cards. And then... Ugh, I mean, there isn't... You don't even... I may just go for Perry, actually. Let's try Perry. We'll save that. No Jurgen yet. Yeah, no Jurgen. Yeah. Whippy, want a battle? You want to battle? Good. I will. You'll be signed up then. Makati, hello, welcome. Did you get your get in touch with Ray? Did you get your mug sent? Anyway, you can get it immediately, obviously. But if you did you get your mug sent? Israel, you remember making a cheeky white, gold, and green deck, and your opponent managed to use the ultimate wave of evolution in Mabinogi Duel and dropped a Dragon Rider Strike. Yeah, ouch. Dragon Rider Strike's a really good AoE. I used it in one of my top 10 decks. I don't remember which one, but I have used it in a top 10 deck before. It's a bit of a Hail Mary. It's a bit of a just, everything must die. Drain all your resources kind of thing, but it will literally kill anything if you have the resources for it. Ready to battle. Good. I will just keep refreshing then until I see you guys go blue. Yay, our first Duel of Summoners sub-battle. Yes, done, Makati. Good, excellent. Israel did like 40 damage to each card. Yeah, yeah. I mean, Dragon Strike does just stupid amounts of damage if you have the resources for it. Okay, how do we battle? Either you or Mist sends the other person a battle request. So as soon as it's done, yeah, okay. So you do like this: you click on the person's name, and then you would say request friendly duel. So one or the other of you does that, and I will spectate as soon as it kicks in. I should stop drinking so much of this arc juice. Very new to the game interface. Yes, don't worry about it. You'll get the hang of it. How do you counter area of effect cards then? One hit, okay. By being smart about your placement. Never flood your never flood your field ever, unless for some reason that's like part of your winning strategy, or your opponent has like no resources left. But otherwise, don't flood the battlefield. You should never really have more than 1 or 2 creatures on your field at any given time, really, because otherwise you become very vulnerable to AoE. Again, sometimes, obviously there's exceptions to every rule, but generally speaking, that's the rule. Okay, so Draconus up at the top and Miss Zero down the bottom. Draconus opens with an elf, which is immediately countered by a goblin shredder. Ouch. So Draconus using the Sarah hero, always a nice choice, and Mist Zero using Fene, who's a little bit random, but always fun. So a hunt comes out onto the Goblin Shredder, which takes care of the threat on the board. Unfortunately, Draconus is running a little bit behind in terms of resources when, you know, given that Mist Zero does have battlefield control. So the Goblin Gravekeeper comes out, which is always an interesting choice. Goblin Gravekeeper being a very good card, of course. At level 1, it's basically free. In the as soon as it dies, it gets its resources. It puts 1 resource into the dark. So yeah, that was short-lived. Black Spirit was placed to block the Goblin Gravekeeper and was immediately removed by a surprise attack. Miss Zero obviously just trying to do as much damage to his opponent before the level ups occur. So a bit of an expensive commitment there, perhaps, but. Let's see how this goes. Mercenary comes out in front of Goblin Gravekeeper. That's going to be difficult for Miss Zero to kill, if not actively impossible. Let's see. Israel, counterspell. Counterspell doesn't exist in Duel of Summoners. Medusa. Medusa is a very, very interesting counter to AoEs, and she works really well if you drop her on the far left-hand side of your creatures and then throw out a Holy Spear, because she'll actually protect all of your creatures from the Holy Spear, which is a lot of fun. Eagle comes out from Draconus, taking care of that Golden Gravekeeper and putting 15 damage on the board. A Forest Fire comes out, takes care of both of those. Let's see how that goes. Margin, you tried with a friend once. Dragon Strike is the one that spends golden light, right? Yes. You tried 20 resources of each, you don't like 220,000. Yeah, it's ridiculously high. Undine at a level 2, which is always very nice. Oh, but the unlucky number comes out and takes care of that Undine immediately. Nice use of the unlucky number there by Miss Zero. More creatures than I was aware of. Had 4 in there. Very cool. Paladin comes out from Draconus. Looks like he's using... he may actually be using my... top 10 deck, which would be awesome. The Net Warrior comes out and takes care of the Paladin's attack value, but there's a bit of a stopgap measure there by Mist Zero because the Paladin's real ability is in its HP generation. Alex says the MD game still going strong, has it been abandoned? It's kind of in limbo at the moment. It still has a good number of players attached to it, but the veterans of the community, the ones that really sort of got involved with the wikis and the tournaments and making videos and live streams, they've all abandoned it. So now it's literally just the casual gamers who are playing. So they're losing players as fast as they're gaining them, basically. So the Elf comes out and is immediately taken care of by the Goblin Shredder. Ooh, Skeleton Blade Man comes out. Now Draconus does have Nature and Mana, so could have either a Turn to Frog or a Cocoon in there to take care of that Skeleton Blade Man. Let's find out. Holy Missile comes out. That's going to transform the Blade Man into a Knight. The Knight, of course, when it dies, is going to turn into a skeleton, and then the skeleton itself has to be killed. So it's a big threat. Israel still waiting for the new set to release. In Mabinogi Duel, yes. Brown, too bad you had such a nice collection. You could sell it for real money. Draconus, you're using my deck. Oh, good. That's always nice. It's a fun deck. I really enjoy it. It's a little bit out of date at this point. People have gotten better ideas on how to deal with that kind of deck, but it's still fine. You can still get in. You can definitely get into platinum with it. Just really unlucky with that unlucky number. Yeah, well played by Miss Zero on the unlucky number into the Undine. So, Draconus and Miss Zero both have more or less the same resources, although Draconuses are significantly better balanced. However, Miss Zero does have 14 damage out onto the battlefield right now. Scratch that, okay, 8 damage out onto the battlefield right now. That Skeleton Knight is going to be causing some serious problems. That's 8 damage coming in. Of course, the Paladin is going to mitigate that somewhat by restoring 3, so the Skeleton Knight is basically only taking off 5 per turn. But Draconus is on the defensive right now, not able to really output any significant damage, and Miss Zero is taking advantage of that fact to charge up the resources as much as possible. Some of the HP comes back into Draconus, and there we go. I shouldn't drink this much of our juice. Proceeds to drink again. Yes, I know. Maybe I have an oral fixation. I don't know. Actually, I should get that. That's. I'm sorry about that cursor right in the middle of the screen there. That must be quite annoying for people. There we go. It's down now. Okay, so Dragon is thinking about it. Decides to discard into mana, going for a firewall. Yep, there's the firewall. Okay, so that's an interesting choice. Frees up the acid monster, which will allow some damage to come out. Now, unfortunately, that's still only doing basically the same kind of damage. Skeleton's now, of course, only doing an equivalency of 4, thanks to the 3 HP restore off the Paladin. The Acid Monster is doing 5, so now Draconus is outputting more damage. However, Mist Zero does have the resources, as you can see, to play more creatures, and even with that HP imbalance, Mist would still be emerging the victor just through attrition more than anything else. So Black Sheep Pan coming out in front of the Acid Monster, always an interesting choice with that Black Sheep Pan. The surprise attack comes out onto that skeleton, finally gets rid of it. Very expensive though, because that was what, a Holy Missile and a surprise attack just to take care of the 1 card, so very expensive counter. There's Lorna, so Mist using a very grave orientated deck. Paladin still restoring those HPs. Arc shared the secret of Arc Juice. Did I? When? I'm pretty sure I didn't. Are you trying to trick me? Holy Missile comes out, that's going to take care of the Goblin, but because it was a spell that took care of the Goblin, that's a nice amount of extra Darkness resources that goes into Mist Zero's resource pool. Jabro, Arc Juice is Iron Brew plus Tizer. Good God, that would be horrible. Listen, I may technically have been born in Scotland, but Iron Brew's awful. And Miss Zero lands a finishing blow with Lorna. Well played to both players there. Some interesting tactics on both sides. A nasty little unlucky number coming out from Miss Zero onto that Undine, which did make a big difference. Very eccentric deck on Miss Zero's side, but in the end, it proved to be the victor. Nice. Miss Zero with Necromancer deck. All those grave-orientated cards, yes. Good game, good game. Lorna, strike. Yes, always nice to see Lorna landing the finishing blow because she's lovely. So, excellent. Well played there to both Draconis and Miss Zero. Very nice fight for our first ever Duel of Summoners sub-battle, especially since Draconis was using my deck, my original deck, which is awesome. Draconis don't know how to use the deck, to be honest. That's fine. Honestly, I mean, as I say to most people, the decks... I always feel a little bit bad about releasing decks, because the trick to playing well in Duel of Summoners is not to copy somebody else's deck, generally speaking. It is useful initially as like a learning experience. You take a look at everybody's decks and you say, okay, what are the common factors here? What does everybody do? What cards do I see an awful lot of, and plug them all in together? But surprisingly, it's weirdly difficult to take somebody else's deck and pilot it effectively. All of the decks in Duel of Summoners are very, very personal. Like, Miss Zero did really well with that Necromancer deck, but if you gave it to me, I'd lose every single fight. I would have no idea how to pilot that. So yes, it's tricky. It's definitely tricky to take somebody else's deck and run it. The learning curve for this game seems a bit high, in your opinion. The initial learning curve is very high, because it is very different with like no RNG, no card pulls, you know, that kind of thing, and because it's more sort of mathematically focused. Yes, the initial learning curve is quite difficult. However, once you get past that initial learning curve, which lasts for a few days, a week if you're like really studying, once you get past that, it becomes significantly easier. So, Miss Zero wants to know if anybody else wants to try to win his 10 gems off him. Israel, you don't really have PC access, you can't play. That is sad. That is unfortunate. I do wish that either this had been like more like truly PC and totally different from Mabinogi Duel, or that they had actually done a mobile version of it, but it is what it is. Come on, Ark, you're missing the GGC, the Golden Garden Cat. I am missing pre-nerf Golden Garden Cat, yes. The post-nerf Golden Garden Cat is just a pile of crap. But the pre-nerf Golden Garden Cat was awesome. I love that kitty. Mist, your favorite deck is actually a modified version of my Paladin deck. Ah, yours is just more adjusted to your style. Yeah, which is the best way of doing it. Take somebody else's deck, figure out what you like about it, what you don't like about it, and then change it up. You're never going to do as well with somebody else's deck as you will with one of your own. Majin, you wouldn't suggest anybody to use your deck. It's such a mental trip, there's no turning back. Yes, down the rabbit hole. Israel, deck building and card knowledge are the main things. Yes. Matteo, you want to try? You'll probably lose, but whatever. Excellent. So Matteo is going to challenge Mist Zero to try and get a hold of his 10 gems. Miss Zero, currently the reigning champion, holding on to those 10 gems in a death grip. So let's see how it goes. So if you guys add each other as friends, let me know when you're added and when you're ready, and we'll jump into a fight. We'll jump into a fight. You'll jump into a fight. We'll just spectate. Matteo, that's the same attitude Mist has in fighting games. Yeah. The same attitude I have with fighting games as well. Brown, you just can't play this as missing all of your Now waifus. Well, there is one Now currently in the game. Let's bring her up. There she is. There's one of your Now waifus. Draconis, try me at Uniel. I have no idea what that is. One hit okay, now card isn't that good. Yeah, now card's not good. Use her in Gates of Hell and nothing else. She is not a good card to use normally. She's like Nicaroa, decent in Gates of Hell, but if you use her outside of Gates of Hell, you're just going to get your ass kicked. The Now Plus Illusion Girl. Copy the enemy gimmick card with the Illusion Girl, then kill it with your own spell, and now resurrect it to full power. Yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff there. Now, sorry for the spam. Yeah, I will never forgive you. Uniel is a fighting game. I gathered that much. I've never heard of it before. Which is unusual because despite the fact that I am terrible at fighting games, I do tend to follow them. I've tried, you know, Tekken 7, Street Fighter 4, Mortal Kombat. I'm really interested in the, what is it, Fighting Spirits, Fantasy Spirits, something like that, that's being done by the professional fighting guy that doesn't use ridiculous quarter-turn millisecond combos. You guys are ready? Excellent, excellent. I'm just going to keep doing this. Arlux, your Clock Reaper deck, is it worth to make it? If you have the cards, make it and have fun with it. If you don't have the cards, don't spend money on it. It's a gimmick, but in Mabinogi Duel there are just better gimmicks out these days. So Matitol up at the top and Miss Zero down at the bottom. Skeleton comes out, immediately killed with a surprise attack, and a leopard comes out. So it looks like Matitol, I'm just going to call you Matteo. It looks like Matteo is running a low-cost aggro sweep deck. So Lorna comes out in front of the leopard, which is an interesting choice by Miss Zero, given that Lorna will die to the leopard. Wanderer Sarah comes out. Interesting choice. Okay. All Miss Zero has to do on his next turn, though, is revive, and he'll get Sarah onto his side of the field. He's choosing to drop the Goblin Shredder. Is he going to revive to get... No, he's not. He's just going to leave Sarah out there. Interesting. Okay. Because, I mean, she hasn't been changed yet. Whenever anybody revives from grave, yeah. So Hitler Spider comes out right in front of Wanderer Sarah. And the Devil Tintarka comes out on Matteo's side. Very interesting. Tintarka, of course, being a really tricky card to use right. There we go. There comes the revive, and Wanderer Sarah is out on that side of the field. Dragon Hunter Jack is going to drop a trap in front of Devil Tintarka, which is not going to work out well for Tintarka. Yeah, that's going to kill her immediately. So Matteo just took all that damage for nothing. Oh, the Forest Fire comes out and that wipes out the entire field. Doesn't resummon the spider because no resources, not enough resources to summon it. So, interesting, interesting. Draconus is not a very well-known game. Allows you to use the acronym. Its full name is Under Naught In Birth EXE Latest. Good God, really? Wow. I assume it's some sort of indie game like Mugen. Lorna comes out on Miss Zero's side and is blocked by the Black Spirit, and Matteo charges up a couple of times, trying to regain resource parity. Oh, under Knight, not Naught. Margin, they nerfed the Succubus Queen too. Guess they never learned to not nerf cards but to improve others. Yeah. Yeah, you know, one of these days I'm just going to release a video on that. I really am. It really bugs me when companies do this. You know, it's like you knew the Succubus Queen was going to be super powerful when you brought her out, okay? You knew this. Why do you do... And then, of course, the answer is they did it because she's a 5-star. She's very difficult to get. They want people to spend an awful lot of money, real-world money, buying gems in order to get the Succubus Queen. And then a month later, they nerf the Succubus Queen so that it's not completely unfair and it doesn't drive people away from the game. It's very cynical. I don't like it. So, Dragon Hunter Fry comes out on Miss Zero's side, and that damages the Leopard, which is ouchie times, and does a little bit of damage to Matteo. Not very nice. There's that Goblin Gravekeeper. The ominous mark in front of Lorna, an interesting little block strategy there. The Leopard is going to kill the Goblin Gravekeeper, but Fry, of course, will just kill it on the end of her next turn, because she'll go for anybody who has an attack of 6 or greater. Leopard has 7. Dragon is nope, made by Axis in French Bread, who created Multi-Blood series. Oh, really? I do know Multi-Blood. Miss Zero, you need to change out Gravekeeper. Yeah, he's not really doing you any favors in a deck that doesn't contain darkness. So yeah, there goes Matteo's side of the field. Death Sentence comes out, that takes care of Fry, who is a bit of a big threat, but that still leaves 16 damage on the board. Matteo's going to need to kill... And he's actually going to need to kill one of those 2 creatures out there if he wants to survive the next round. because blocking is not going to do it. Out comes the Ice Bolt. That does take care of the Dragon Guardian, but it also gives Miss Hero a really nice gold boost, which he then uses to bring out the Mud Hero Dras. And that is probably going to be game, as Matteo says. He feels like crying. There's nothing really in his resources that can deal with the Dras. Not enough resources to turn to Frog. Gold doesn't have any cards that can kill Dras. And he's used his death sentence already. Israel wants to know what they changed to the Queen. I can't tell you off the top of my head, I'm afraid. Melty Blood, is that the Type Moon stuff, right? You love Tsukihime and Fate series, like Borderline Maniac. Fair enough. So Miss Hero does a triple charge. Looks like charge, one more charge, and a charge. Okay, so a nice sportsman-like finish by Miss Hero there. And Lorna once again lands a finishing blow. Well played to Matteo, some very interesting cards and strategies there. And of course, again, well played to Mist, who manages to maintain his hold on his 10 gems. So if anybody else would like to challenge Mist, I think Whippy said that he was interested. So Whippy, or if anybody else wants to challenge Mist for his 10 gems, comment in the chat. If you would like to challenge me, or you would like to challenge anybody else in particular other than Mist Zero, just comment in the chat. Maji, Lorna did it again. Holy moly. Yes, Lorna did it again. Oops, she did it again. Imagine the Queen now turns everyone just once when summoned, and not every turn, so rip Nerva Lilith. Yeah, okay. Still pretty brutal from everything I've heard, but yeah, certainly not as bad, no. I mean, last time I talked to somebody who was still playing Mabinogi Duel, they said that the game was pretty much dominated by like 5 separate gimmick decks. Oh, Matteo gets 10 gems because Mist likes him. Okay, so that's nice. So look at that, guys. Even if you fight and lose, you may still manage to get a hold of 10 gems. So does anybody want to fight me, Mist Zero, or anybody else in chat? If you're interested in doing a sub-battle, let me know in the chat. Otherwise, I'll probably just drag this deck into a normal battle, and we'll see how it goes. I'm looking at it again, and I'm thinking, wow, this is a terrible deck. We'll see how it goes. I've got no real AoE beyond the Hellhound. And no sort of superpowered finisher. It's all just low-cost creatures. Nothing really in light to drop early, and no early greens either. Yeah, this whole thing needs a rejigger. 10 gems can do a lot. 10 gems can do a lot. Yes. 10 gems can mean the difference between getting the anime Undine and not getting the anime Undine. Where is she? There she is. Lovely girl. Anime Undine. So we have one of those. If I pull another one during live stream, I'll give it away in a raffle. Okay, nobody's mentioning anything about getting involved in a fighty fight, so let's... I did switch over to L. Good. Let's just jump into a normal battle. And yeah, we'll see how this new deck does. I'm going to have to look up my old In deck. I know that it had In and that it had... Grave Rat, because those were two cards that people continually underestimated. Mate, you got 2 anime Undines, nice. Numbra, very cool. Imagine, well, it was a sort of stupid combo. You used the 2 force by other gimmicks, but nerfing Lilith isn't really the right way. Just improve another card to make a stand against Lilith, yeah. I mean, honestly, Lilith should never have been released in her format anyway. Let's do that because she charged up. Matteo, now you have enough gems to get the Lufencia skin. You don't even have Lufencia, but now you have the skin. Well, you can now use Lufencia, because you don't need to have the base skin in order to use her. If you have any of the skins, you can make use of her. Okay, well, we dropped the Hidden Spider. Let's throw out a Grave Rat, because we have enough to remove any blocks on it, and if she removes it with a spell, we're going to summon our Hidden Spider. So, win-win for us, whatever she decides to do. You can use the Skin of the Hero, yes. Good, so we'll just remove that. It's an equal resource trade, so I am perfectly happy. And the Grave Rat drains some resources. Woo, Grave Rat! You can't use her base form, though. No, you can't use her base form. You can use her, you can just use her, but yeah, you can't use her base form. So we've already taken 2 resources off Numbra, which means that the Grave Rat is now more than paid for its own cost. Bullet Evolution comes out. That's going to bring out our Hidden Spider at level 2. Thank you. And we'll probably drop the In, and Yeah, okay, fair enough. I wouldn't have said that was really worthwhile, personally speaking, but let's drop the inn. That way the hidden spider is just going to keep blocking, so she's going to throw out a spell in order to get rid of it. And let's put down Lorna next to the inn. There we go. Okay. Draconus, we meet again, Mist. What, are you guys having a fight without me? Magic Missile comes out, takes care of the Lorna. That's fine. Doesn't really make any real difference. The inn's gonna heal up the hidden spider, which is just, I love it. It's so funny. Let's bring out the skeleton. Nice low cost card. Charge up again. Just trying to maintain resource parity. The acid monster is not going to be doing anything. Hidden spider will be resummoned if it is removed by a spell, and the inn is perfectly safe where it is. Okay, so it's another bad resource trade by our opponent. We're happy enough with that. They've hit level 3 really fast, which is not ideal, but it's not the worst possible thing that could happen. So let's revive. It's not again super ideal, but let's do it. And we will drop Lorna because that's going to be a really bad resource trade for Numbra now. You wanted to see if you could get some dailies done and found him. Oh no. Imagine, just an example, because if Jurgen was top meta deck before Lilith and then he gets outclassed by Lilith, people move to Lilith. If you nerf Lilith, they just go back to Jurgen and nothing changes. Yeah. I mean, the problem with nerfing powerful cards is that you're just going to force people to go back, as Majin said, you're just going to force people to go back to what was top tier before this new thing's nerf. Whereas if instead you buff other things and make everything viable to a certain extent, then hey, suddenly, you know, things actually become much more interesting. Now, what do we want to drop here? I should really be paying more attention. Numbra actually seems to know what they're doing. I'm just going to keep doing these resource trades, honestly. This works out better for me than it does for Numbra. So we'll just keep doing this. What do I feel this deck is missing? Phoenix comes out, we don't really care. This is why you always carry a transformations card in there. Poor spider. I feel really bad for that spider, I honestly do. Let's do this. And we might as well bring out the Hellhound. Yeah, let's bring out the Hellhound now. The inn works really well next to Hellhound. If you buff, you make people reconsider other decks and come up with new combat decks, which is always interesting. Yes, I mean, Duel of Summoners has it really nicely balanced at the moment, in that there's no sort of predominant deck. Anytime I get into a fight with anybody, I never think to myself, oh, this deck is coming now. It's always, you know, sort of, ooh, which deck is coming out now? Ooh. There's always a bit of a question behind it. So a double discard, a turn to Frog, really?
Your turn now.
I mean, I actually don't care about that, because she either has to then use another spell in order to kill the cursed frog once this dies. Yeah, I don't care about that. I don't care about that at all. Either she needs to use another spell, which drains significantly more resources, or she leaves it alone, in which case it'll transform, or she blocks it with a creature, in which case we can kill it with the hunt. Okay, so she's blocking it with Growth Vine, and then doing a double charge. It's alright. We don't really mind too much about that. Now, the question is, we can get 4 off that. We can actually just win this right now. Hold on. Good job. Well played, Numbra. Interesting deck. And there we go. Okay, but isn't the frog going to kill the cocoon anyway? I guess that's just a little math error. Oh yeah, I mean, what he was obviously trying to do was, you know, play the Growth Vine then in front of the Cursed Frog, because he knew that that would be a safe play. But then, boom. Mist, you just got your 3rd anime Undine. Nice, well done. Israel, you always have removal in 2 colors and non-destruction removal in the other color. Yeah, that's a good way of doing it. Always have 2... basically, the general rule for beginners, always have 2 single target removals. One in... have 3 colors. 1 camp should have a single target removal, 1 camp should have another single target removal, and the 3rd camp should have area of effect. That's the general rule. Single target, AoE. Once you get better at the game, you can shuffle around the strategy of it, but that's the general rule for beginners. Yep. What's the code of this deck? Well, the deck that I'm using right now, it's not ideal. It's not the perfect deck. I'm still tweaking it just for fun. Basically, I just wanted to use the in, and I'm just trying to recreate what I had before. But if anybody is interested in running this particular deck, that's the code there. I'll just leave that up for a second while I check again in chat. If anybody wants to get involved in a sub-battle, that means you can battle me if you want to challenge me directly. You can battle Mist Zero, who still has 40 gems to give away. He will give away a 10-gem gift to anyone who beats him. Or you can challenge somebody else in the chat, or just open yourself up to a generalized sub-battle. In the sub-battles, I will spectate the fight and I will commentate over the top of it. It's just for fun. You don't need to bring top-tier decks. Everyone's just bringing the stuff that they want to test out or enjoy or have fun with or show off. It's very relaxed. Nobody's judging. Nobody's, you know, getting weird about it. Relax. It's fine. And again, Mist's still got 40 gems to give away. So if anybody wants to get involved in the sub-battle, do let me know. Otherwise, we'll jump into... We'll just do some more normal battles, and we'll just keep tweaking these, and we'll try out some more EOD cards, all that kind of good stuff. There are some here that are good for PvE, which I am tempted to create a PvE deck and jump in and show some of these PvE cards like Homing Owl and how good Growth Vine can be. But I'm aware that a lot of people don't find that interesting. So I would love to show the Medusa Holy Spear combo. It was one of my favorite combos way back when, but I just don't have Holy Spear. Draconus, you don't mind some other sub-battles. Okay, well, I assume you mean you don't mind fighting somebody other than Mist Zero? Or do you want to fight Mist Zero again? Because either way, it's fine. Just let me know whether you want to fight Miss Zero in particular, or whether you particularly don't want to fight Miss Zero. Martin, so the thing about Duel of Summoners that made me go, woohoo, is a very tiny detail. No stamina limit. Yes, no stamina limit. Thank God. That was the other thing to stop me making Mabinogi Duel videos, was because I just couldn't test decks. Everything cost stamina. So normally I test a deck by running it through like 10, 20 fights. I literally couldn't, because, you know, I'd get 2 fights in and I think, oh, this deck needs tweaking, and then I'd tweak it and I'd do another couple of fights and, oh, this deck needs tweaking. And then by the time I'd gotten it to a point where I think, you know, okay, this actually looks like it could be really, really powerful, I'm out of stamina. So yeah, they got rid of the stamina limit. They got rid of the worn value of cards, which is really good. Miss Zero, get rid of In and Grave Rat, also put in an unlucky number. No, screw you. In and Grave Rat are staying. Dragonus, well, I meant as I don't mind having more sub-battles in general. Well, if you don't mind fighting Mist Zero again, in an attempt at getting at his 10 gems, then we'll do that. Want to build a deck? Oh no, that costs Saitama. That costs stamina, yes. It doesn't cost Saitama, which is either a district in Japan, or it's, you know, One Punch Man! One Punch! Israel, you got pretty far in PvE using a structured deck? Yep, the PvE is honestly, like, really easy. If you have a general idea of what you're doing in terms of deck building and running decks, then you can get a 10-win streak in the weekly limited arenas without any real difficulty whatsoever. I kind of autopilot them these days. Yay, you got more gems, time to open a couple of packs. Okay, well, it looks like Draconus and Mister are... we could spectate Makati, but he hasn't given me permission. Israel, you remember Stamina, super annoying? It was super annoying. Alright, well, Draconus and Mist, if you guys are willing to fight each other, do the thing, then let me know. I'll just start a search for dual opponents. And whoever gets there first. You swear opening card packs and TCGs is like crack? They really are. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're designed to be, of course, as well, with the big shimmery thing and the music and the it's all sort of psychological manipulation, biological manipulation, but yeah, it does its job and it's fun. So yes. Stamina is always a thing in mobile games. Yeah, it is, and I don't really know why. There's like one country, I don't know which one. It's not Japan, because we did check that in one of the things. But yeah, there's one country that sort of insists on stamina, I think, in order to ensure that people aren't like completely obsessed with the mobile games and stop eating and die. Dude, it's cardboard crack. Imagine you're going to go grab a snack. Nothing better than snacks and Arc. Yes. You combine the two and you get snark. Which isn't nice. Korea, says Miss Zero. You say that very confidently, but then I remember somebody saying very confidently that it was Japan, so... The country that this game is made from. Made in. I hope it's not made from Korea. Good lord. Like, we took a lot of Korean people, dogs, birds, some soil, we ground it up together and we made a game. Play it. We roll, put stamina in it. Arlux, rank 20, using the neutral hero, so I assume a new player? So, but maybe not. Some vets I know do swear by using the neutral hero. No downside to their skills. Korea is the gaming capital of the world. According to whom? And by what metric? Okay, that's a bit annoying with the Blue Moonlight Well. We're gonna have to do this. I mean, he has... I mean, he can kill whatever we put down, really. So we're gonna have to do this. He's gonna get some extra blue off the Moonlight Well. We're just gonna have to hunt that next turn. Dragonus, you got the anime Undine. Nice! Nice, very, very cool. Okay, that's fine. I don't mind getting extra dark resources. Let's get rid of that. StarCraft is their national pastime. Yeah, good God. I saw a couple of documentaries on the camps where they train and their input numbers. It's like 30 commands in a second kind of thing. It's ridiculously hardcore. And then League of Legends. I think League of Legends is everybody's national pastime by this point. It's fun, I like it. I prefer Heroes of the Storm because I'm a filthy casual, but yeah. Mirror Ghost. Yeah, do we care? I don't think we care. There's a 50-50 chance that Graverat's going to kill him anyway.
Leveled up to 2.
And countless, and we got the 50 chance. And countless amounts of Korean MMOs, yes. None of which I can identify by screenshot, I have to say. There's like the Lineage 2 style of MMO, and then there's the Dragon's Nest style of MMO, and then that's it. And if you just took a random screenshot, I could not tell you if it was Dragon's Nest, Lineage 2, or any of the other branching MMOs that come off that. Hawk, I don't think we want a Hawk on the field. Let's be a little bit greedy about this. Let's be a little bit greedy. So we'll put the inn next to the Hellhound to protect against any potential hunts further on down the line. Arlux just isn't leveling up anyway, so... yeah, obviously a new player, which is fair enough. We were all new once. No shame in that, but he definitely needs to level up at this point. The Grave Rat's just gonna go chomp, chomp, chomp. Nope, out comes the Drag to Hell, takes care of the Grave Rat. Which, you know, it's sad, but... it's no big deal, I guess. Let's... Oh, and he forfeits. Okay, never mind. That's fine. I don't feel good about that, but I didn't bring out any 5-star cards or anything like that. In fact, I don't think this deck carries 5-star. I don't think it carries anything above a 3-star, does it? So, you know, I don't feel bad from that perspective, but I always feel bad when I beat somebody who's obviously really new to the game, because it just doesn't seem very fair. Does gold have any good resource acceleration? No, not good resource acceleration, no. That's another tip, actually. Don't worry about resource generating cards. Extra resource generating cards are kind of a trap in Duel of Summoners, as they were in Mabinogi Duel. Very briefly, for the newbies that are playing, we'll go into it. Does Gold Rush exist in DOS? Yes, it does. There it is. Okay, so very, very briefly to go into this, let's take a look at, well, let's take a look at the Blue Moonlight Well. Okay, so as an example of why you shouldn't focus on resource generating cards, let's say you play the Blue Moonlight Well like that other guy did. Now, Blue Moonlight Well on its own has no attack value at any level. And of course the objective of the game is to take your opponent's HP to 0. So that's what you're really focusing on at all times. So the Blue Moonlight Well won't do that. It'll sit there forever. It'll never actually provide any pressure. What it will provide is resources. Now, at level 1, if you play the Blue Moonlight Well, it costs you 2 mana. for a resource generator, and it does nothing other than generate resources. So it will take 2 turns for the Blue Moonlight Well to pay for its own cost. Every turn from the 3rd turn onwards, the Blue Moonlight Well is then actually doing its job. It's actually generating mana. But for the turn 1 and turn 2, it's not actually benefiting you. You're still operating at a loss. And given that the Blue Moonlight Well can be killed by anything, it's never going to survive to turn 3 plus. So it's not a good card. The resource generating cards all work on this principle, unfortunately. There's no card that is a pure resource generating card that is actually a good card. The best that you can do is something like the Goblin Gravekeeper. The Goblin Gravekeeper works because it does provide some offensive pressure with the 2, 4, and 5. And it kind of generates resources sort of accidentally, almost. It'll gain its own cost back in Dark when it dies at level 1. If it's killed by a spell, it'll gain its own cost back at level 2. And if it's killed by a spell at level 3 again, it'll get its own cost back. But even if it doesn't get its own cost back, it still, you know, gets some of its cost back. So that's what you need to focus on for resource generating cards. Don't fall into the trap of going for stuff like Gold Rush. It's too random. Duel of Summoners is a game of maths. You don't want randomization. And yeah, again, as far as the generation goes, it's a game of maths. Blue Moonlight Well is going to take 3 turns in order to start generating a profit. Where's the other one? Cemetery. Cemetery's not terrible, honestly. Where the hell is Cemetery? There it is. Cemetery's not terrible because it can't be removed by a 2-cost spell. You're going to have to like really plunge into it. But again, +1 at every turn. It's going to take 4 turns before it starts generating a profit. So don't worry too much about those. I remember making Golden Cat, White, and White Gold Rush deck. Yeah, well, Golden Garden Cat was awesome pre-nerf. It was fantastic. Dragon's Guardian is a good gold resources generator. Dragon's Guardian is not bad, certainly. But again, as with every decent resource generating card, the resource generation off the Dragon's Guardian is almost incidental. The predominant reason why she's useful is not as a gold generating card. The predominant reason why she's useful is that your opponent can't kill her without benefiting you. That's the real trick to Dragon's Guardian. The gold increase is nice though, don't get me wrong, but don't rely on it. Don't make Dragon's Guardian a part of your thing, because the problem with Dragon's Guardian as a resource generator is that she will only generate if killed by a spell or a melee attack. She won't generate resources if she's killed by an ability, like Hellhound. She won't generate resources if she's vanished. She won't generate resources if she's transformed, and so on and so forth. Imagine Dell, resource generating unit, Golden Garden Cat, man, that card, yeah, pre-nerf, that was an amazing card. Tomb of the Solitary Man is the best one with 0 attack, and the most successful one. Tomb of the Solitary Man is definitely, if you have to go for a pure resource generator because that's what your deck relies on, then yes, Tomb of the Solitary Man, which is over here, is definitely the best. It's really high defense, it meets HP breakpoints at every single level, and it's a decent resource generator, I guess, at level 1. At level 2 you can see it's terrible. It would take 5 turns to begin generating a profit. That's awful. And of course it relies on nothing else being on your battlefield. But as a level 1 drop, right off the bat, it can cause your opponents an awful lot of issues. Of course, if they're smart, they'll just drop a creature on the other side of it and ignore the tomb, because then at that point, you know, you start to get into a little bit of trouble. But if you have to go for a resource generator, Tomb of the Solitary Man's the best one. The best resource generating card from Mabinogi Duel for a long time, well, it's like the underrated best one for a long time, was the Altar of Wisdom, I think it was called. Which is the one that would generate extra mana whenever you discarded mana into the grave. I used that one. It was me and Lexar, I think, were big fans of that one. We used it with our Warlords decks. Just like Mirror Ghost, sort of. For resource generating units, you have to take risks, which isn't exactly the best tactic in this game, unless you're somewhat ready to face consequences of your failure. Yeah, to a certain extent, yeah. The problem with the resource generating units is that they are just too slow. There's no resource generating unit in the game that can generate a profit, and I mean like just pure resource generating unit. We're not talking about Dragon's Guardian or Goblin Gravekeeper or stuff like that. There's no pure resource generating unit that can generate a profit in less than 3 turns. The best of them can do it in 3 turns or more, which is just You can ROD to gain both gold and dark from Dragon Guardian. Ritual of Darkness, right. To gain both gold and dark from Dragon Guardian, but it shouldn't be relied on. Yeah, you could, sure. Again, tricky, very, very tricky, because of course, one of the issues with the Dragon's Guardian is that it will generate gold based on the nature that you have when it dies, but obviously it costs nature to play it. And whilst it's not expensive, it's not super cheap either. So you're going to have a fair amount of nature when you drop Dragon's Guardian in order to get any kind of a decent gold profit off it. Which isn't, it's not undoable. It's a good card, don't get me wrong. I like Dragon's Guardian. I love the artwork, and if you're running gold and nature, run... oh, hey, Draconus. If you're running gold and nature, run Dragon's Guardian, see how you like it. I really enjoyed it myself. But... yeah, don't rely on it as a resource generator, because it's still got that randomization element to it. It's not a reliable resource. You can't say to yourself, every game in which I play Dragon's Guardian I will gain a gold profit. That's not how it works. Black Spirit, a bit of a bad resource trade on our part there, but we just need that off the board. Counter Altar was annoying. Is that the Altar of Wisdom, or is that a different one? Or do you mean the Altar of Wisdom coupled with Counterspell? Because yes, that was the trick with the Warlords. You would drop the Altars, you would drop a whole pile of Counterspells, which would supercharge the mana generation off the Altars, and then you would drop the Warlords, and it was basically impossible to deal with them. Let's do this. Man, everything is going into nature. It's not really what I'm after here. Oh well. Let's see here. Let's drop that. Again into nature. Everything's going into nature. The move of Ritual of Darkness to Dragon's Guardian is best done when you need to even out your resources, when you have an overflow in nature. Yeah, it is. But again, that's relying on this situation I find myself in here, which is something that you can't really plan for. And the best players in the game will always do moves that minimize randomization as much as possible. Oh man. Yeah, we're gonna get our asses kicked. This is why you need proper AoE, unfortunately. Let's drop that there. Did I hear warlords? You did! I'm still waiting on them. My warlords, where are you, my beautiful warlords? I miss them so much. Turn to Frog onto the inn. Good choice. Brings out the hidden spider at long last. That's been waiting in there for ages. Majnadel, yes, you know what I'm planning. I'm not saying it out loud because I know Draconus is listening. Hidden Spider just gets resummoned right back out again. I mean, it's a decent way of draining my nature resources, but I had so freaking many of them. So now comes a Hellhound, that'll take care of that, and yeah. You know what, we'll just charge up. Grass card spam is so scary. Grass card spam? Yeah, it's a bit terrifying. Ahahaha. And now Dragonus is the one with is also one with uneven resources. Yep, nice on the Hellhound there. And we'll level up. And let's drop Lorna. You know, they only nerfed a Ritual of Darkness because of Heavy Storm. Really? I can see that. Yeah, Ritual of Darkness is weird. It has been nerfed. It wasn't even a super awesome card, but your reaction was pure gold. You know, fella. Okay, out comes the cocoon because we're not dealing with that. Goodbye, goodbye. There's a silver lining, and we'll put down a grave rat because then Draconus' attention is split. He has to deal with the hidden spider if he wants that cocoon to come out, but if he does, then he's going to leave the grave rat and Lorna alone. And that's bad news, bears. It doesn't have enough resources for firewall either. You're selling 2 special edition Undine Akora on your personal shop right now, Makati. Well, if you want to put the shop code in the chat, that's absolutely fine. We'll just do a triple charge. Do we want to do a triple charge or do we want to revive? No, I'll just do a triple charge. Because Dracanus has low number of cards in his hand as well. He only has, what, 5 cards in his hand right now? No, 4 cards in his hand right now. So he's going to have to revive, which is going to give me all my creatures back. For free. So that's what, 14, 18 damage on the field. We have fatal damage on the board for Dracanus. Dracanus. I got his name right the first time and I'm screwing it up. Does have enough for Firewall now, which is I assume what he's about to do. May summon the Hidden Spider back out onto the field. It would be hilarious. Yep. And this is why Hidden Spider is the best card in Era of Dragons. It just is. CHD. Okay, so Makati is currently selling 2 special edition Undine Akoras. That's the anime Undine Akoras on his shop. Shop code CHD if you guys want to go and check them out. Acid Monster comes out in front of the Hidden Spider. That poor Hidden Spider keeps getting those acid monsters. Oh man, okay. You know what? We're gonna do... I'm gonna bring out Teon. I'm just trying to decide where I want to put him. Where do I want to put him? Or do I want to put him anywhere? Yeah, let's put him here. Who to determine the proper price for the new... How to determine... Yeah, there isn't a way to determine the proper price for the cards right now, I'm afraid. They're just... It's anybody's guess. It really is. So Dracanus really has to revive from the grave if he wants to kill the Windblade Teon. Oh no, he did have a surprise attack hanging out there. Okay, so now he has literally no cards in his hand. And so he has to revive, and so we get all our creatures back. Yay! Alright. So let's just start putting a little bit of pressure on various bits and places. We don't need to worry too much about generating, bringing any cards out of our grave at the moment. Yeah, how to determine proper prices. There is no way to determine them currently, unfortunately. The only way to get the proper price of the cards at the moment is just by looking through the store, but there just aren't that many. It's a bit difficult. This should be game. I don't know why I'm singing that song. How did that get stuck in my head? Who's been talking about garden buses? So charge off from Dracanus, another charge off. He has enough for... Yeah, well, he can't. He loses now. So a triple charge off from Dracanus, acknowledging the loss. Well played to him. I would say well played with... No, actually, I think she does have a proper good job. Let's see. Yes, good job. Good. Okay, so Elle just says things normally, unlike Lucencio, who's a bit weird with her choice of words. But well played to Dracanus. Fascinating going up against my own deck. And yeah, I honestly thought you had it there for at the beginning. You had a nice opening at level 1, but yeah, I somehow managed to claw it back. What's the time? Okay, so that's almost 2 hours. That's fine. Okay, so I'll do like another normal duel. We'll just run this deck again because it's kind of a fun deck. This is the last call then for sub battles. If anybody is interested in doing a sub battle, that is fighting me or fighting somebody else in the chat, let me know in the chat, and we will we'll either pair you off or you'll fight me, and then spectate, fight. It's a lot of fun, no pressure. Mist Zero has gem gifts to give away if you beat him, so jump on in. Free market, sell the card at the price between how much you want and how much people are willing to buy it for. Yes, his question is how much are people willing to buy it for? Makati, what's the most important cards we should own from the new set? Okay, that is actually a good question. I will just quickly jump into the shop. I'll do this very, very quickly for everybody who already knows this, but it is worth going over. Oops. Yeah, new set. The word... We had the word shop in our heads. Okay, so the most important cards you should own from the new set. First of all, obviously, the Undina Cora. She's just a really, really good card, and even if you already have her, useful to have the special edition one, because apart from anything else, you can sell it for a lot of money. Apart from that, in the 4 and 5 star cards, the only card that's worth going for is Lady Cher, and that is only if you like a particular kind of tempo style gameplay. I personally love using Cher style gameplay tactics, so I'm definitely aiming for her. But if you don't like that style of play, don't worry about it. You don't need anything out of the 4 or the 5 stars. They're all pretty bad. Red Dragon's pretty good. Okay, hold on. Imagine, got to go out to shop and buy food, so call it quits for the stream. Have fun, everyone. Take care. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. We'll be stopping as well fairly soon, I reckon. But yes, tune in next week. Red Dragon is decent. Not amazing, but decent. Holy Spear is really good. Aim for Holy Spear. Stone Curse is okay. Windblade Theon is a good creature. That's a nice one. Bear Hunter is very good for PvE, not great for PvP, but still decent. Mist is really good if you're into tricky play styles, 3, 3, and 3. It can be really useful for redirecting transformation spells, because it costs 3 at every level. Zombie Dragon's not bad, definitely worth a look-see. Medusa is a very interesting card to go for. Goblin Intercept can be useful if you're really good at prediction. Dragon's Guardian is a very good card, pick up that if you can. Weaken Spell is not bad if you've got if you're running sort of a tempo deck that isn't vulnerable to transformation but is vulnerable to removal. Go for Weaken Spell. Black Knight is decent, especially in Gates of Hell decks. Freeze Summon and Cocoon Traps are must-haves. Definitely go for those. If you have to choose between one or the other, go for Freeze Summon. That's more useful in a wider range of situations. Forest Fire is worth picking up. Definitely grab that. Hidden Spider is the best card in the EOD set, bar none. It just has so many uses. Pick that up, definitely, definitely, definitely. If you don't pull it from your first few booster pack pulls, buy it from the Cat Merchant. Next up, Paralyzing Bullet, very good card. Definitely pick that one up if you have the opportunity. Bandit Leader coupled with Bandit is fun, but not super viable. Nevertheless, it is enjoyable to use, and it's not a bad card. You can definitely get into Platinum with a Bandit Leader enjoyable deck. Homing Owl is good in PvE, less good in PvP, but still not bad. Unlucky Number is actually surprisingly decent if Undine or Dras become very, very common in the meta. Unlucky Number shuts them down, as Miss Zero showed us. Growthvine, good in PvE, not so great in PvP, but still has its uses. Slap is funny, but not particularly useful unless you really like randomization. Poisonous Spear is decent enough in like a Grave Rat deck if you're really focusing on draining your opponent's resources, but otherwise don't worry about it. In is very nice. People tend to completely underestimate it and leave it alone, which can absolutely swing battles in your favor. Blue Crossbow Golem, decent enough in PvE, pretty crap in PvP. Alpaca has just a face that just tells you he gives no shits. So definitely pick up Alpaca. Useless card, but just, I mean, look at that guy. He's the coolest one ever. Ice Bolt is good. Pick up Ice Bolt if you can. Imp is very good. Pick up that if you can. Great Harvest is useful for Gates of Hell style decks, and Leopard is basically a golden elf, so pick that one up as well. Those are the cards that you need. Mist, you have to be going soon. You can do one last battle. That's good. So if anybody wants to challenge Mist Zero, Twitch or YouTube, either one of you guys, you can do it. Whippy, if you want to battle Mist Zero, please do. I will challenge to spectate. Maleficia, what about Altar of Abundance? Altar of Abundance is one of the most useless cards in the game at the moment, because it's reliant on, well, okay, so for starters, it can be removed for equal to its cost. Secondarily, it relies on your nature resources being high enough even after you've played it. So if you want this to work, first of all, you've got to have 6 nature resources, or 5 nature resources, I suppose. Then you've got to play it, then the thing's got to survive, and then you get just 3 HP back. It's not great. You go for Paladin. Paladin's just a way better version of the Altar of Abundance. This is just pointless. It doesn't even provide any pressure. It has 0 attack at every stage, so, I mean, it gives you 3 HP back, sometimes, maybe, but your opponent can just ignore it and hit you past the damage limit. So, WLY, okay, yeah, alright, they're organizing their fight. We'll jump into this. If it ever refreshes, there we go. Wow, a lot of people fighting right now. Makati, Fate Seal, and Volpe all fighting. There's Whippy, there's Miss Zero. I'm friends with them both, so we can watch them both. I will spectate Mist Zero because I'm not sure if Whippy's set his deck to hidden yet. So just wait until these guys go. Whippy's always fun. Y for yes or Y for Y? Oh, Y for yes. It is WL. Still got that song stuck in my head, and I have no idea why. Lol. LOL! I so badly want to spectate, you know, Volpe or Makati or Fate Seal. But they haven't given me permission, so we're not going to. I don't want them to beat me up. Oh, let's go. Okay, are you guys... Yep, okay, looks like it's... Okay, well, Whippy was the one that came in first, so there we go. Alright, so Whippy down the bottom, Miss Zero up at the top. It looks L versus Fenny, and Whippy, good, does have its stuff hidden. So, Gold, Nature, Light on Mist Zero's side, and Gold, Nature, and Darkness on Whippy's side. He opens with a Tomb of the Solitary Man, as we discussed earlier, basically the only... resource generating card that is arguably of any serious use. Miss Zero is going to ignore the threat of the Tomb of the Solitary Man. Next turn, if it still survived, Whippy will have gained back the Tomb of the Solitary Man's cost. Miss Zero just continues to charge up. Interesting strategy. Tomb of the Solitary Man has now paid for its cost, making it essentially a free card. If it gets one more turn, which it will, it is now generating a profit. So a large imbalance there in darkness. Miss Zero does take care of the Tomb of the Solitary Man, although it has already done its damage by giving Whippy a huge bonus to his darkness. And this is why Tomb of the Solitary Man is actually a decent opening card. At 2 darkness, you pretty much there's a good chance you'll be able to drop it on your first turn. And there's no removal spell other than Drag to Hell, really, that you can reasonably play at level 1 in order to remove it. Fox comes out in front of Miss Zero, and the Golden Shredder comes out to immediately counter the Fox. So Miss Zero now has battlefield control, both the HPs are more or less equal, and the Goblin Shredder is now blocked by a Goblin Bomb Squad. So that will kill the Goblin Shredder, unless... Whippy might choose to remove the Goblin Shredder with a hunt or something. There he goes. Yes, okay, in order to let that go through. But Hidden Spider was in the grave, goes all the way over onto the far right-hand side. A Goblin Shredder of Whippy's own comes out, takes care of that Hidden Spider, drops her right back into the grave. Whippy now knows that that's a problem, so he's going to be wary of using removal spells. However, I am pretty sure that the Hidden Spider counts as a creature, so Whippy's L ability will actually pull that Hidden Spider out of the grave, unless that's being changed in Duel of Summoners. But from testing that we did way back when in Mabinogi Duel, I think we determined that it was creature. I'm not 100% sure about that. Lorna, Whippy is good. Yeah, Whippy is one of the best players I know of. Miss Zero, of course, no slouch either, so this is a really, really tight game. So the hunt comes out, takes care of the Lorna, that brings a Hidden Spider right back out onto the field. Whippy, of course, got 20 darkness just waiting to be used there. The resources can now no longer go into darkness, every charge will go into gold or nature. However, that does mean that Whippy will now only be earning 2 resources per turn, unless he brings out the Hellhound, which he has done. Good, okay, so the Hellhound in front of the Hidden Spider. Miss Zero could remove that if he wanted to. Dragon Hunter Fry comes out. That is going to deal 6 damage to the Hellhound at the end of the turn, which can take it down to 1... oh no, sorry, yes, it does extra damage, doesn't it? It does 8 damage to an opponent creature. I always think it's her attack value, but it's not. Magic Gourd Bomb comes out, takes the Hidden Spider. I think at this point Whippy is trying to drain Miss Zero's nature resources as much as possible. He brings out the Tomb of the Solitary Man to block the Hidden Spider, knowing that Fry is going to shoot the tomb, so there's no problems there. And Fry, of course, will only be shooting once because the tomb does not have a high enough attack value to trigger her ability at the end of the turn. Miss Zero takes advantage of this fact to charge up 3 times. Whippy very effectively using that Tomb of the Solitary Man as a blockade against both Fry and the Hidden Spider. So Whippy charges on his first turn. With 6, 6, and 13, he's definitely got a solid amount of resources there. Okay, so if Fleet Ferora comes out, if that gets killed, as it almost certainly will be, Net Warrior comes out. Interesting choice. Okay, interesting choice. That's not going to trigger Fry's secondary ability, which may be what Miss Hero is counting on. A discard into nature may be that he's planning a cocoon on the next turn in order to take care of Ferora. Whippy charges up and it goes into nature. Charges up again, it goes into darkness. Charges up again and it goes into gold. I'm going to assume no cocoon. Interesting. So the entire field gets wiped. Yes, okay, I'm not really sure what that was about. Mist comes out from Mist Zero and redirects the Tomb of the Solitary Man. I'm sad, Sniff. Yeah, that is a real shame. That is a real shame. So that's a big... well, it's not big, but it's 3 resources drained off Mist Zero that will do nothing. Mid Hero Dross comes out and... wait, kills his own Lorna? I'm not really sure what that was about. A capture onto Dragon's Guardian, a very expensive choice there. The Drag to Hell, he was obviously hoping that he was going to hit the Dragon's Guardian and then that would go into gold and then the Tomb of the Solitary Man would charge up into darkness. Bit unfortunate, but there was a 50-50 chance there. The ability, of course, means that the Dragon's Guardian doesn't activate, so the Goblin Shredder very nicely played there by Mist Zero. Golden Bomb Squad once again coming out in front of the Goblin Shredder to act as a block. Cat, no! Miss Zero charges up and charges up and charges up. Let's see what Whippy decides to go for. Once again, a lot of darkness resources there, but very... yes, there we go. Okay, so the Hellhound comes out and that takes Golden Shredder down within killing range of the Golden Bomb Squad. That puts 14 damage out onto Whippy's side of the field, which is immediately removed by a Forest Fire. Miss Zero resurrects, which gives Whippy back his creature cards, and Lorna comes out onto the field. Lorna, of course, a very nasty creature to deal with late on in the game because it never increases its cost by the grave cost. So Miss Zero can keep pulling that out, keep demanding more and more expensive removals off Whippy, and slowly drain down his resources and gain an advantage that way. So both players running at more or less the same resources, Whippy with a slight HP lead, but it's still anybody's game. Whippy charges up. Goes into darkness. He's got more than enough darkness at this point. I think he's probably hoping that it goes somewhere else. That's a little bit better for him. Goes into gold and charges up a third time. That goes into darkness. Okay, so he's going to wait for Mist to make the first move, which is of course Lorna, the smart choice. She won't cost any more than her standard cost, and because of her attack value, constantly demands an answer. So Whippy's in a bit of an awkward situation with Lorna there. He could try to block her off with the Tomb of the Solitary Man, but he's brought that out so many times now that it must be extremely expensive. So that would definitely block the damage coming in off Lorna, but it wouldn't provide any actual advantage to him in the battle itself. So let's see what he decides to go for. Decides to charge up. Does it go into darkness once again? It does! It's always going into darkness. He's not getting very lucky with these charges. I mean, he literally has the same amount of darkness as these other 2 resources combined. So the Golden Bomb Squad comes down in front of Lorna. That's going to demand a response from Miss Zero, or Lorna will just die to it, one way or another. And of course, Whippy has proven that one of his favorite tactics is to drop a Golden Bomb Squad in front of something and then remove that same something with a removal spell and deal the damage. So let's see if Mist wants to risk the damage coming off. It looks like he does. 3 charges up and they all go into nature. So not brilliant balancing. And again, Whippy's proving that that's his favorite little tactic, dropping the Golden Bomb Squad and then clearing its blocked creature. A charge, which, you know, no huge surprise. Well, no, I thought it was going to do the other thing, but nope. Mud Hero Dross comes out. Dragon Hunter Jack, who's going to put a trap in front of the Golden Bomb Squad. Now, a Hellhound would clear that trap away, of course, but let's see if it goes for it. Does. Okay. and kind of, sort of, blocks the Mud Hero draws, but not really, because that Hellhound's going to die immediately. A couple of discards, one into gold and one into darkness, so Whippy's obviously got a plan for the following turn. Mist has to kill this Golden Bomb Squad, which he does. No, he doesn't. Okay, he must be killing it with a hunt then. Okay, well, oh no, yeah, he's relying on Jack, but that's a little risky. That's a little risky. Whippy's charging up. What's his last card? Because he's got nothing here that's actually going to save him. Now, I mean, a revival and then like a discard into nature and then a hunt would have worked, but he may have. No, there we go. Oh, okay. Ah, I see. Well played by Mist there. The hunt redirects. Very nice, and that's one of the reasons why I love Mist so much. It can absolutely mess up your opponent's tactics. So that hunt obviously was going to come out onto the trap, I would imagine. And then obviously the Golden Bomb Squad would have landed the finishing blow. But because of that Mist, it got redirected to Jack, who doesn't care. And Mist Zero managed to take the victory from Whippy. Very close match there. Very nicely fought by both players. Very, very interesting tactics. And of course, always nice to see Mist being used to good advantage. Oof. Yeah, that was really close. That was really close. Game over. Yeah. Well played to both players. That very nicely fought. Okay, and I think that will be it for this live stream. Yes, because we're at a little over 2 hours now. That seems about a good place to stop. So thank you to everybody who... one dark short, good game. Thank you to everybody who stopped by to watch a live stream today. I really appreciate it. We're going to be doing more next week, so make sure you stop by for those. And hopefully we can get an awful lot of... he was going to hunt his golden. He knew. Yes, he obviously knew that the Mist was in there, and he was hoping to redirect it onto the trap. It's a bit of a Hail Mary, but there we go. Yes, anyway, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. Stop by next week, and of course, stop by the Discord server as well, and say hello to everybody. That's it for the live stream today, though, so I hope everybody has a really good weekend. Get yourselves nice and rested, get lots of gems, get lots of cards, and then next week, please be sure and show up and get involved in some sub-battles, because as you can see, they're a lot of fun. And congratulations, as a final note, to Mist Zero, who has managed to go completely unbeaten in today's sub-battles. His gems are still his own, so he remains the reigning champion. Congratulations. Alright, I will see you peeps next week or on the Discord server. Have a good weekend, guys. Bye.